With the recent re-releases of the Sly Cooper trilogy on PS5, I've been going through and 100%ing all of the games for the fourth time. So today I thought it'd be fun to talk about some of my favorite games from my childhood. Sly 1 is an excellent introduction to the series. It definitely feels more like a traditional PS1 platformer than a fully fledged PS2 platformer, but it's incredibly well made, it's perfectly paced, it's a great length, it's silly, it's fun. I highly recommend you play this, and then strap in because the series only gets better from here. Sly 2 Band of Thieves basically expands on Sly 1 in every single conceivable way. Singular linear levels that lead you back to a hub world? No. The entire hub world is the level now. Playing as Murray like 4 times in the entire campaign? No. Now every member of the gang you get to play with in every single hub world. Even the story's a little more fleshed out, but it still builds upon the story from Sly 1. And that leads me perfectly into Sly 3. One of the things this series is best at is building upon its own legacy, which is especially noteworthy because it's a series about legacy. Sly 3 does an excellent job of building on both the story and characters of the first 2 games very intentionally. The outcome of the end of Sly 2 has a profound impact on the entirety of Sly 3. And most missions in Sly 3 feel way more team-oriented than in Sly 2. Most missions in Sly 2, while you can play as all the characters in the gang, feel like they're just one character. Sometimes 2. Most of the missions in Sly 3 you're playing as multiple characters at once. The plot is great, the music is great, it's a phenomenal game. I highly recommend it. Sly 4 Thieves in Time was admittedly a bit of a misstep. I tend to think this is by far the messiest of the 4 Sly games. In terms of gameplay, I still think it's really well polished, but other aspects of it are not quite as good. The art style is pretty dramatically changed. I don't prefer it personally, but that's more subjective. It's still very well executed. And while the story in the 4th game does still build on the same themes of the original trilogy, it makes some character decisions that I do not agree with. Nonetheless, it's still a good game that's worth your time if you like the first 3 games. Just know that it's probably the worst of them. They re-released the original trilogy on PS3 and also on Vita. Some people prefer the remasters, some people prefer the originals. I think they're both really great. Play whatever you can get your hands on. Outside of the mainline games, there have been a small handful of Sly Cooper books, a movie that never happened, a TV show that never happened, and Bentley's Hack Pack, which was a Vita PS3 game that was a compilation of hacking levels featured in Sly 4 that was expanded upon. Sly & Co. have also featured in a couple of other games, including PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale and PlayStation Move Heroes, and by proxy, in Astrobot. What I am hoping is that the reason that these games are now being re-released on PS5 via emulation is to test the market to see if Sly 5 could be financially viable per PlayStation Studios. It is! Give me the damn game!